to another session in the Summit Series, The Quantum Human, expanding your multidimensional awareness. Today, we are with Mahalia Michael, who is a top sound healer and actually someone so connected on multidimensional levels. The Lyran High Council of Angels will be joining us in this transmission as we explore the water whispering method. Mahalia, thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Lyran. I love being with you here on Neo Network and all the other guest speakers. I'm deeply honored to share the water whispering magic.
Yes, first of all, let's talk about what it means to be a quantum human and what it means to expand multidimensional awareness. Now, you are a channel for the Lyran High Council of Angels, so you have expanded your multidimensional awareness. As we do that, explain maybe how you came into it or what it means to be quantum and multidimensional.
Yes. So how do we expand, and how do we know that we can expand and touch in with these other layers and levels of our universal 3D experience, as well as that magical realm or the quantum realm? So maybe for many people, as it was for me, it started with pain and suffering. It started with a deep cry out to something greater than myself. I was not raised understanding spiritual energy or understanding who or what God was, and or whatever we choose to call that. God, creator, almighty source, holy of holies. I love all kinds of names for the great, great creator who gave us this creation. Our bodies are exquisite instruments. And then to go from deep suffering and what I call being in the slave construct, or just slavery, pain-based consciousness, to deep prayer, deep crying out for help, please, please help me, to having the help show up in unexpected ways, which is always fun. And I consider those miracles, little miracles and big miracles, are all gifts from the universe showing us that we are quantum. And then it's a matter of our mind, heart, root, our body saying, wow, that was a miracle. And yes, I'm going to follow that trail now. Whereas before, through pain and suffering and not knowing that we're children of God, children of Creator, we can stay down in deep old rabbit holes and waste a lot of time and get lost in analyzing, in judgment, in fear of what are people going to think, to, oh dear, childhood trauma. And so the unraveling of our perception or point of view, to opening it to, there's so much more going on here. And I remember the first time when I got the bigger picture, I was 25. I just read Way of the Peaceful Warrior. My mom had put it on my bed before I went on a year-long trip to Australia. And I didn't know that the universe was listening to my thoughts and listening to my heart. Turns out it is, and always is, for every single one of us, including animal life, nature, Mother Nature. So I had a vision as I was riding my bike. I was cycle touring through Australia, that I had a picture up ahead of me. It was as though it was an X-ray, and it was a flash snapshot of me helping a senior person who had a red vehicle, a red truck, and that I would be driving this red truck, and that I wouldn't have to worry about how I was going to eat for, because I was on a budget at 25, riding my bike through parts of Australia. And later that day, when I pulled my bike and riding into a town called Noosaville, I was guided. It was as though a path guided me to this poster board that had a help sign on it for a gentleman, a senior, who had surgery, who needed caretaking. I went there. I was able to help. He had a red truck. I ended up driving it to get him groceries. And then many other things snowballed from there. So as simple as that may sound, it was my opening to understanding there's something is hearing me my needs, my longing and wishes. Like, I didn't know where I was going to sleep that night. It all lined up. So it's a matter of seeing the picture, trusting the picture, following the guidance, following, oh, what feels good here? Where does my heart want to take me? And then answering the call and being curious and in that childlike mindset. So another thing about me, Lyran, is I tend to be in theta brainwave most of the time, meaning I'm in a dreamland in my mind. I'm in sometimes illusion. I'm in sometimes fantasy. I'm in imagination. I'm what I sometimes call the Forrest Gump brain, where it's simple, it's innocent, it's just childlike. I'm not deep in the lower brain areas, the primal and limbic brain, trying to make sense of things. It's more a part of, I believe, the multidimensional realm. It's the quantum realm that is I'm just tuned into more often. So then I'm able to go more galactic. I'm just able to see more and then trust more. But it's taken quite a while for me to build that trust and really build in my conversations with the Lyran High Council of Angels and the whale and dolphin families of light and sound. Wasn't an overnight thing for me. For some people, it can be. And so that, I hope that answered your question. It's been a journey, and I it's so fun to be in the quantum realm because it's really more pleasure. It's about more comfort. It is actually about a deeper level of deep inner happiness and satisfaction with something greater than ourselves that is helps us live in the miracle of life and creation in a way that we create heaven on earth and return the Garden of Eden. That's how I see it and how I feel it. The paradise within us is linked with our inner instrument and God, source, creator's music, singing, breathing through us, breathing us, animating us. Then from there, how do we dream out? How do we imagine out something new for us? So if someone's listening here struggling, even down to they don't know where they're going to sleep tonight, they don't know how they're going to pay their bills, is try to rise into this higher mind space. Try to go into how you were as a child when you would dream or you had an imaginary friend. And maybe at the time you were told it was wrong to have an imaginary friend or to talk to something that doesn't seem real. Well, I talk to imaginary things all the time, and they respond, and we make magic together. The level of creativity that then pours through when you begin to trust that, those people will an answer and a solution will arise, because Source does not want us to suffer. Source wants us to enjoy this creation. This is our dream, to enjoy, to make the most of, to create bliss, to create more love flowing. And totally we can go the other way. We can go into the fear and suffering, and I've totally been there, so I know how that feels. It's not fun. But then there's the stress addiction habit that gets stuck inside, that we think that's all there is, but it isn't. So just being willing, as in the Course in Miracles, Jesus says just to have a little willingness. And if we just give ourselves a little 1 degree or little shift in our perception, and we go, wow, that friend just gave me a little nugget of something to follow. They said I should go to that store today, and I think I should follow that and go to that store. And then from there, I will meet someone who has a room in a beautiful house for me to stay in. See, like it's more about that trust that there is something greater than us listening and communicating with us. And I also call it the golden deity or the musical mothership, because it has to do with the plasma that we're in, this organic alien substance, and meaning it's foreign to us, but it's always been with us and around us. And that to me is the where everything is welcomed because when we're water whisperers, we can move the plasma. We can reshape how we experience our reality, whether it even has to do with aliens, UFOs, or what is perceived as, that's a whole other topic. But uh, I've had conversations with Grays and have had to go to those places and understand and hear stories of people seeing UFOs. But what does that really mean to you in the quantum realm and multidimensional realm? Well, instead of fearing it, what if we whispered in the water here, the plasma, the water vapor that we're surrounded with, and our water bodies, and we whispered then also in a way that is loving and accepting, that says, well, if all of life is here and all of creation is here serving us, how can I be a bridge to add expansion, fractalizing this glorious potential? We're living in infinite potential. How can I fractalize that in with joy and happiness and fun? How can I create more fun for people? What else is possible? And if I am scared of something foreign, something unusual that I'm not used to, I've got to be willing inside of myself to take 100% responsibility to find comfort in what is uncomfortable. I'm going on here a bit, but there, hopefully that gave a little insight.
I love it. Thank you so much. I just want to say, finding comfort in the uncomfortable, that is a gateway. That is an immaculate awareness of our energy, of our space. And it gives us full responsibility to shift it. Like you said, if we could take that perception and just rise to a different, a bigger world, a bigger viewing, a bigger understanding of it. So here you're talking about water whispering. Every one of us would love to know more about that. What is water whispering? And you mentioned, wow, like I can feel the plasma around us. Is that molecules in the air? Is it water molecules in the air? Tell us more on water whispering and how we can do this in every situation. Maybe we're already doing it just by showing up in joy and love.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But now my heady question wants to know more. Thank you.
Oh, okay. So our physical body is, let's say this is solid, um, audible. This is an audible body because we're in light and sound in this vibration. Then our inaudible nature, which helps us bend reality, it does help us to whisper to water in a way that cleans away what seems and appears solid. So it's getting into the 99% realm. So we could say, if you think of water pouring from your tap, it is the same water that's around us. Really, what is water made of? Gas, hydrogen. In our body, we have helium. So when I am water whispering, I'm actually speaking to the helium even, so people feel like they're floating. There's a lifting that's happening. What happens when we get lifted is we begin to feel the difference between electromagnetism and scalar energy. So scalar is part of the magic when it comes to water whispering, and how our spirit and soul accesses the scalar in order to speak to, let's say, this. I like to think of it just as liquid. For sure, there'd be molecules, there's minerals in water, there's definitely different elements. If you think of Masaru Emoto, who did the studies with how water crystals change shape based on if we're projecting love or fear and hatred into it, the difference, the distortion, or the coherence. We want to think of our inaudible nature. So simply put, inaudible comes out of the high crown here and below our root. So the high crown, we could say, goes to the dolphin high frequency realm, and it bends as pearly iridescent color. It's how our pheromones travel from us in audible. So you know how couples who meet, they may have been calling out for a mate for a month, and they've been sending an inaudible going out into the field of this infinite musical mothership, this plasma. But we've always just thought of it maybe as air or wind, or, you know, how does telepathy travel? How can I think of a friend and that day they call me? Is it just through air? Is it just because it was random? It is actually a form of whispering. You're sending a channel right into this plasma body. Robert Temple wrote The New Science of Heaven, speaks very deeply about this plasma that we're in. The sun is made of plasma. The whole universe is considered now to be made of plasma, and they've proven this. So if that's true, and I think of plasma as a jellyfish, and jellyfish are immortal and they're changeable. So they have a code in them that if something is beginning to shut down in their bodies, they have a reset that sets them back to being immortal. And we have that in our cells as well. So whispering to our own body, who say someone is dealing with physical pain right now. They have tried everything under the sun. They have done affirmations. They have done therapies. They have tried their best to get over the hump of it. For one, where's the thought coming from? Where are the affirmations coming from? Is it coming from the lower brain and limbic brain are our habitual ways of being, and they're our habitual connection to history. So we haven't resolved the history yet. We're saying, please, 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 like I was like, someone help me to free me from my pain and suffering. But I was not connected with the inaudible realm. I wasn't fully connected with my spirit, with what spirit does when it travels through this plasma. So we've got to connect that beautiful bridge in our instrument and say, okay, where's my spirit? Where's it living? Is it living in my heart? Is it living in my brain? Is it living in my root? And I like to think of our whole bodies like a flute, and God breathing through it, because some people have trauma even around religion and how they think of the spirit, the holiness that guides us. Try to, if you can, think of it as I don't know how, magic, just like a magical wand. And you bond with that, the merging. Think of the movie Avatar, when the Avatar Jake connects his tail to that big wild horse. If someone hasn't seen that movie, it's where the merging with spirit to your battery pack. You plug in. Once you plug in, then you are in the inaudible place that allows the silent call of your heart to ripple into what I like to imagine the multidimensional field as sacred geometry, amazing, unbelievably gorgeous shape and math and sound. We don't need to know the math. We don't need to know this geometry. If we can just realize that with every word we speak, with every heart thought we have, we are moving shape. We are moving mathematics. Shape in mathematics is like casting a spell. It is casting a sigil. It's casting shape into the water. So if you are gentle, being gentle with yourself, say you're in pain and you have been stuck in the stress response, and you are casting from that place, you will generally experience it bouncing back to you, because this is the laws of physics. It's the laws of how nature works. But if you connect with the holiness of you, the meaning, and you could think of a flute with holes in it, you're in the holiness, and you are bonded with spirit so deeply that it pours out of you like a fountain, and that fountaining is your glorious music. Then you ask from that place, because you're whispering from new geometry. new math, true math. So that also has to do with getting back to the inaudible coming from the root. When we recognize inaudibles at our root, and I have it as a chart actually in my book, but it's the black light. It's through the womb for women or the hara for men. Most people are uncomfortable with blackness, darkness. I spend a lot of time in darkness. I cover my eyes at night. I love being in a cave-like feeling because I want to explore the depth of my womb to the root of Mother Earth. And it's when we can face the darkness that is us, that is our very own darkness. That isn't always pretty, but it's worth getting into. And part of that is where our traumas can live. But beyond that darkness is light. Black light is the feminine way. It is how we create miracles. It is how we can be a water whisperer. And men have feminine energy. Men have their beautiful womb hara. If they just start to trust again and get into that deeper darkness. So the whales, humpback whales, orcas, our blue whales, our gray whales, hold the essence of black light. And I like to think of the humpback whales as holding the rose records or the Akashic records deep in the depth of the black light system. So we can access our spiritual, historical, multidimensional records right from our root when we allow ourselves to go inaudible. And we go through the black light, and and it also then bends reality down below our root. As we bend, we create our torus. It is how we bend reality. It's how we water whisper. And as our torus is those beautiful donut type shape coming out of our heart, rainbow, if you like, all the colors of creation, then we whisper. Or we can whisper before that, but it becomes where, if people have seen some of my testimonies, they will see that all of the testimonies, all of the results with anyone who has been ready to shift their paradigm into more from suffering to more bliss, more contentment, really like a deep inner soul happiness, which we don't rely on anyone else for our happiness. We're not codependent. We become primary narcissists. We become like children again. Children enter the kingdom, queendom of heaven. It's that looping field, the Merkaba, which I see as your egg ship, your spaceship, your own pod to travel in the multidimensional realm with, and sing and whisper and do lullabies around yourself, like as though you were a wizard or a witch with your magical wand. And I mean that in the most positive of ways, that you are casting loving spells. You are saying, I do want the ocean cleaned up. I'm going to now cast my whisper that those that may have been dumping garbage in the oceans they feel my love. They feel that they can find a new place to dump that garbage. I'm giving an example. So it's not going in the ocean. Okay, right. So it's then, now people will say, well, what if I'm whispering to someone on the other side of the world? How are they going to get it? It's instant. There isn't a time gap. We're in the age of Aquarius, right? We pop through the Kali Yuga. We're just getting through there mostly. We're in the like holding of the birthing fluids right now. We're just in that part of our rebirth. But as we are coming through here, we are learning that the way the calendars have been, the way of time has constructed us to be in more compartmentalized ways, is that time now is art. It always has been, but think of yourself as an artist. Think of yourself as you are painting your reality, your dream. So it lets you pick any color you want, pick your choice of your vocals and your silent heart and your piece, like when you send it out. And so it becomes instant because art, there's no time frame for in the universe. There isn't. It's just sheer consciousness. So I can whisper to someone on the other side of the planet and spend maybe an hour whispering to who they thought they were, who and what they were struggling with, and whisper enough that they awaken to their water whispering ability. Then they go ahead and whisper from pleasure and contentment and their connection, their bond with that spirit. So it's so, yeah, trying to make it as easy for you as possible to understand.
That was an activation. As you were talking, you put us into a state of heart-centered peace and power. There's empowerment there.
Mm.
There's such a calmness. So as we are learning, I've got God bumps actually. So as we are learning to really love everything, whisper love to everything. That's what we're doing. We are using our voice, whispering love, creating our reality this way. And so let's apply this to an example. So you talked about one person on the other side of the planet. Wow. I guess my question would be, we are really responsible for our vibration. So if we are aware of that and something from the outside comes in to trigger us, that is a beautiful opportunity to remember that we can whisper it. What would we do? So, you know, something outside of us is triggering us or making us antsy, or like, for example, something in the environment, it doesn't fit right, like you said with the ocean.
Yeah.
Then instead of going down in a spiral, letting it affect us, putting us in a bad mood or complaining
Yes.
about something, then we really have to switch it. How would you do that? Do we just start singing and humming? Like you said, we go into that heart torus and the geometries of it, and we change the thought. You said the heart thoughts actually moves the geometry, moves the plasma, moves the energy.
Yes. Yeah. You said it, Lyran, the humming is the quick, instant, helpful solution. Just soft, gentle humming. I call it a lower brain whale hum that helps the neurons in that shock or fight or flight response where we want to go into survival and tightening up and negativity and complaining and, oh, that person did this, or look at how messed up it is. Like, I have to still hum when I see logging trucks, because bless the loggers out there, and I know they are just trying to pay their bills and look after their families. There's got to be another way, because I think of forests as their orchestra, and they all sing together, and the way nature and the universe intended for them to sing together for evolution, because life is always evolving. We want the music always evolving. So I have to, when I pass, I'm driving and I see a logging truck, and it happens a lot around where I live here, is to start humming, because I go into, so my brain will go into a fight or flight mode. It'll go into, but if the trees are cut down, then the music will die, and then the earth will suffer, and then humanity won't make it. That's where my pattern goes. And that is a survival response because of forgetfulness in that moment that I'm a child of creator. And source creator produces, and we could use our brother Jesus as an example, that we produce, we can water whisper, we can walk on water and create food. We can create new trees. We can dream, we can water whisper the new earth. So what would it take for my brain then to flip from that to, oh gosh, remember, I'm a child of the universe. I can create I will hum. So humming, yes. Connect with those neural pathways. Hand on the heart, just if you need to pat the heart. Dr. Hugh Len, Ho'oponopono, I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. Does that mean it's going to always happen instantly? No, we want to be gentle with ourselves. And especially when someone has been in their pain body and slavery for a long time and wanting sovereignty, wanting freedom to move things and change their reality is Lyran, the 100% responsibility. So if I see something outside of myself that has challenged me, with the willingness to communicate. So water whispering to me is having those difficult conversations with people, friends, family members, if they're willing. Not everyone is willing to go to the black light. Not everyone wants to yet. They might one day. So sometimes we do have to be willing to accept where people are at, not sometimes always accept where people are at. And this is where, and I bring this in, is where I definitely have had projections towards me and have had to ask myself, when am I appearing narcissistic versus primary narcissism? Because that is also a fine balance. So say there's 10 people around me who do not seem to want to be water whispering with me in a way that creates heaven on earth. They're choosing to whisper different types of sigils that may be based on complaining, negativity, or not loving. What do I do in that case? I may just have to turn and walk away. And I used to hang in there and keep trying to make that difference. But you can silently just whisper to them, I love you. You're beautiful. You're extraordinary. You are an exquisite, glorious vessel, instrument for creation. And one day I pray that you know how blessed, magical, and coherent you are, and the power you carry. This is a superpower. This is what every person's birthright is. But I then have to walk away, and some of them may think I'm narcissistic for walking away. Do you see what I'm saying? But they don't know that I just prayed for them from the inside. That communication couldn't have been spoken with physical words, but it was from my heart. The judgment still may be there, and I can't do anything about it. I just got to keep walking hand in hand with God, with Creator. And then I manifest something else of a miracle. And I then go, okay, well, that is what I have. That's my lane. I've got to stay in that lane right now. And that lane equals being back into childlike nature. And maybe one day those 10 people will want to join me in a circle that creates more miracles, that they accept their superpower. They go, oh, wow, I didn't know, but now I kind of have an idea. Now I want to play with it. Show me how to play with this. And let's unite. It's unity consciousness then. But as you know, we're not separate, ever separate. And how is that possible? I used to wonder about this. Well, many reasons. One is plasma. We're all in the plasma. So we're in the jellyfish body. We're in a choice between regeneration to an immortal state where we keep feeling youthful and energized and like, and 33 forever is how I feel. Or we're in the plasma of that degeneration and mortality, the death realm. It's an interesting program. So yes, there's evolution, but I'd love to see us how we honor each other in the evolution, to be so sacred, to be just so tender and deeply seeing each other, Lyran, deeply hearing each other, deeply seeing. To answer that question, how do we do this? So those 10 people, I will instantly look at them as well as they're still carrying perhaps some unresolved trauma. And it generally can come from childhood starting. So I will then have that compassion. It takes that compassion to send them love and carry on in your lane too. So I wanted to add that part. And the only way we can know that compassion is when we acknowledge our own traumas, we acknowledge our own reactivity, our own survival response, our own drama, our own programs, and not keep seeking love outside of ourselves. We must own it and have it within, that deep happiness, that deep contentment, which I call bliss or brain bliss. And that's heart bliss as well. It's root bliss. It's all the bliss, to knowing it's in our biology, to rebuilding our brain and our central channel as an instrument of bliss, because it is one degree shift in our biology to experience bliss. It's either going to be adrenaline in my receptor, or it's going to be anandamide in my receptor. It's 1 degree. It's a choice. I'm going to either pump with adrenaline and run around thinking the sky's falling and we're toast, or it's going to be, I feel so good. I'm taking in my bliss molecules, my God particles, my God gold, my God glitter, the diamonds of just sheer medicine, nourishment, nutrient. And I'm gonna walk on water. I'm gonna walk on this water. I'm gonna swim through this water in pleasure, and I'm gonna then speak to this water as pleasure, and that is going to dance out there. That is going to ripple in this unity field. It is geometry, and it's also DMT, our spirit molecule that comes from our pineal gland. It is in every cell, in every plant and animal and part of nature. I really want people to get this. You are never separate from anyone else or anything else at any time, through water plasma, through geometry, and through DMT. So we can't even get away from those 10 people, actually, which is, the joke's kind of on us, because where am I going then? Where am I? Yeah. So hopefully that answered some questions.
That, again, I'm going to say it, is an activation. And so thank you for sharing that, because again, it's all on us, and we can't get away from those 10 people, for example.
Yeah.
They're part of us. And so how do we choose? How do we choose to show up? How do we choose to be? How do we choose to radiate? How do we choose to whisper? I love it. It's really calm and peaceful, and that multi-dimensional quantum perspective of unity and full responsibility for our vibration. So it really is lovely. So you work with the Lyran High Council of Angels. And so tell us about them, and maybe we can actually have a sonic activation with them or something. I'm sensing, but tell us about the Lyran High Council and how you're working with them.
Yeah, super excited to share that. Can I just share one short example, Lyran, that you and I just experienced about how plasma will bounce things back, if how universe aligns things. So
Yes,
just to add to this
I was
about,
going to bring that up myself. Yes. So
okay.
yes.
Yeah, well, here we are having this amazing union on Valentine's Day and Global Sound Healing Day when it was originally scheduled about, what was it, a month ago, for February 14th, 2024. And then we had to reschedule to the 16th. And then magically yesterday you wrote saying, can we do it today, which is Valentine's Day, which was the original day. And
I
we
had forgotten all about that.
it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was choosing our next conversation, I chose February 14th intentionally. And then I totally let go when you needed to shift it. And it was like, yeah, that's what the universe wants. Okay. But then it came back, and I find it so miraculous. And
Yes.
that is an example, right, of our hearts, our heart coherence. And then the universe's love for us saying, okay, girls, it's going to be today, and it's going to ripple out whenever this goes live and is airing. It's in this quantum field of the heart chakra day, boom, 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 and the water whispering of our heart's love. And then, yeah, I love it. So thank you for getting us back to here.
And it's a miracle. Again, we witnessed a miracle, that might just be one of the smaller miracles that you mentioned, but that is a miracle. And we have to honor that. And I smile at it. And it really is me getting out of my own way. It's allowing the heart to lead and seeing how it all plays out. It's so funny. I think it's funny. It's
Yes, I love it. Is a miracle, and I love that you see it that way. This is how the Lyran High Council of Angels assists humanity. And
okay.
I want to always add that the Bliss family includes the whale and dolphin families of light and sound. Someone may ask, well, what does that mean? It could be physical whales and dolphins in the ocean. It's also the physical, or the multidimensional physical vibration of whale and dolphin consciousness in the field. And their love for us is so extraordinary. And I'd love to do a whole other talk about how people have shared with me how whales talk with them in the multidimensional field, including one of the co-founders of Greenpeace, to my dear friend who was saved by an orca who tried to drown himself from seeing the torture and experiencing the torture in the residential school system, to I just did a session recently where my dear soul sea star was a huge conduit to support whale and dolphin conservation. And in her session, I've never had this happen before, the whales poured through me my vocals to her to thank her for her service. It was, it brought me to tears. It was so extraordinary. So they're always with us, with the Lyran High Council of Angels, as well as the power of the great central sun king ray, the ultimate, and the ultimate for humanity's portal. It's a portal to the truest, I feel, most glorious realm of life and freedom, is the way nature intended, is through the great central suns, multi-layered, multi-dimensional suns, for our freedom as light beings. So, we're shifting from a carbon-based reality to silica-based. Silica is so sexy because it's like it's the rebar to our light that travels in our cells, reminding you that every cell's number one job is to sing. How does it sing? It sings on light. So yay, we're turning more silica, because silica helps the bone structure, bone building, light recovery. So think of the Lyran High Council of Angels as silica based. They're fine, refined, sensual, delicate, fragile, I want to say. And because of their fragility in this way, their music, their angelic music, is so otherworldly and hard to describe. There's no way to really describe it. I was blessed to hear it once through the heavens while I was doing a job in my old paradigm self of PTSD and stress addiction. I was a account executive for a large organic food company, And I'd been praying, I'd started neurofeedback for my brain, and I was driving through this mountain range, and I was in my adrenaline response, and I something happened. This clouds parted, and the angel sang to me, and I'm like, when I think of it right now, my ears just they enliven. The acoustics make my brain lift, and it's inaudible, so it doesn't have to be audible, but I got to hear it audibly. Then my work phone rang, and because I was still in stress addiction, I answered the phone instead of staying with that angelic music. It's, the technology from Damanhur that can hook up to hear the orchids singing and all
Yes,
of,
I have that. I work with that,
yeah.
the plant music. Yes.
Well, times that by a million, this music of the flowers to the music of the angels. And whoa, I'm not maybe exaggerating, but I don't know how else to explain it. But because I answered my work phone, and I don't use the cell phone to my head ever. I don't even use a cell phone anymore like that. I'm analog. I'm plugged into a landline, and I'm old school that way. I'm sensitive to EMFs big time, but the uh, the phone call stopped me hearing the angelic realm. And so it took me years then to gradually reunite with the Lyrans, because after 6 different mystics and medical intuitions over about a period of a year said I was connected with these beings, and I didn't know what they meant or who they were, that they came to me as a being birthing here March 3rd, 3/3, 1971, and that they had asked my mother if she would like them to also walk with her. And she was like it seemed to work where they connected with me more, and I transmit them to my mom. Sometimes she doesn't realize that, and that's okay. She's done great. She's awesome, my mommy. And so my meaning, like, this has to do with the Lyran Lotus, which I'm going to talk about as well. But these 6 mystics said basically they describe these beings the exact same way. They're tall like trees, they're crystalline in nature, they are so acoustic. So they're walking music, and they help to seed the light inside of us in human. If and I don't expect anyone to believe what I'm sharing at all. It's a lot to wrap our heads around. But if we think of ourselves as earth or mineral, then how, if and that is magnetic, so we're our physical body electromagnetic, but how does it animate? How do we then move this body? Well, it's our energy body, subtle body. The subtle body manifests from scalar energy, which is light energy. So if we think of the Lyrans as conductors to charge the battery of our light body to serve our physical body, we realize that they're simply a beautiful charging station mechanism to keep this physical body amped up and healthy. Dr. Jerry Tennant talks about our teeth, the roots of our teeth, our gum lines, as the meridians or nadi points to our organs and our blood system, lymphatic system, our bones, our bone marrow. If we do not have a high amount and a strong amount of light, a strong amount of electrical current, our physical body will deteriorate. It is not singing. The song is fading. So what the Lyrans do is help our song be bright. It simply just keeps the cells singing. And how is that possible? Through the quantum field, through accepting the multidimensional miracle that we are among, the plasma, and then the whispering that we can do through this plasma. So because these 6 mystics described the Lyrans the same way, then it took me another few years to actually, when I was living in Arizona, to experience 2 Arcturian hybrids. Since then, I have a friend who's from Sirius B. To my dad is now an Andromedan king. He's a king of Andromeda. He's connected with another Andromedan friend, and the Pleiadians, many Pleiadians come around me, connected with the whales and dolphins. So I've then was guided by the great beloved heart of God's love to meet more galactic beings and star beings, to begin to trust that this is is real. And then the Lyrans, I finally found out that they're connected by a rainbow bridge to Earth, that just as the Hawaiians would travel to navigate the other islands as they were discovering, they would travel on rainbow bridges. So my first most sacred teacher was Kahuna Abraham, who helped me understand ancient Hawaiian healing arts. 1995 was so quite a long time ago. I was initiated by his mana, and the mana comes through the breath. It is, and then it comes through the understanding of the rainbow and the rainbow body. So the Lyrans, the whales and dolphins that come to Earth to serve humanity, come basically like on a rainbow, a musical rainbow. And look at the colors of geometry, where we live in color. If we can move through the black light and from our root, and we connect up to through the pearly realms, blues, peaches, pinks, and pearly, mother of pearl. Here we have a pyramid right here, a glorious pyramid. It's the #1 sound temple for you to go to, is your mother of pearl pyramid right here. And I use these names because that's what the Lyrans gave me to use to help humanity understand mother of pearl's magic. And then as we go there, we get into more color, we ride the bridge, we connect with the Lyran High Council of Angels. It could be Lyran cats, it could be Lyran, different races of Lyrans, it could be Lyran birds type people, but the point being, more than anything, it's not about the detail. It is about the light. It is about the sparkle, the shimmer, the glitter, the gold of their love and of their music. Think of this choir of angels singing to you all the time, and they're beyond the astral plane where mermaids thrive, Sasquatch, mermen, elves, elvins, dwarves, dragons. That to get to Lyra, to get into that frequency, is to dance among the astral realm. As Yogananda was able to see mermaids in the astral realm as well. I just love that. I love to know that about Yogananda. Self-realization is having fun in there with archangels. Archangel Melchizedek, Archangel Metatron, and Archangel Michael have also been journeying with me for a very long time to help me understand how geometry works, help me understand that Metatron's cube is, I like people to imagine, and this is also part of this activation, Lyran, is the most glorious geometry, the flower of life, the tree of life, all of that helps our Merkaba, our spaceship, rise in its glorious harmonies and symphony. The orchestra of your living temple is the Metatron's cube as the fastener, or the strength or rebar behind your angel wings as well, like your dragon wings or phoenix wings. And that helps you fly in water, not only walk in water, but fly and whisper. I'm going down, I'm sharing some different angles here, but I get so excited about this. So the Lyrans then just truly want humanity's batteries to be strong. And like my vehicle's battery needed a charge the other day. And then I went, wow, okay, does that mean my body's battery needs another little charge right now? Does that mean as I've launched the Lyran Lotus, it's a sonic scalar spa sanctuary, like a living lotus, a living flower of life, a flower of light, a flower of music on Lyra, that I must keep my battery supercharged and my superpower switched on so that I continue to serve those who join and meet and experience the Lyrans in their Lyran Lotus pod, because they get their very own pod. It's like a holiday for their subtle body, their light body. And where, and people, and then think it's instant as well. There isn't this need to hop on a plane, train, or automobile to get there. It is instant quantum. Then, as they're being charged up, either they're experiencing charging, like plugging in your cell phone, plugging in your laptop or tablet, you're plugging yourself in, and you're getting your biology to reharmonize, because the subtle body does not disconnect from you. It's not like we're removing anything from you, because your subtle body is multidimensional. So I'm in Lyra all the time. I'm in with the whales and dolphins all the time. I'm with Mother Earth all the time, and especially more as a feminine energy, it's felt more deeply. I feel that women can feel it more deeply, and for men, it may be more of trying to put it in a compartment in their mind to help them better understand it. But the more they get into their light body and subtle body, the more they're going to feel it too. And they will become that living, breathing, walking orgasm, the orgasmic, pleasure-based, biologically biological truth of your birthright of ecstasy. And in that is what the Lyrans want for us. It is this, it's like you are a walking, breathing, lit up, charged up star. You're a like a twinkling star that through the twinkle you are amping your biology so you feel immortal, you feel youthful, you feel so energetic. You could dance all night long and still have energy the next day. That's what I do here. That's how I live my life here. And it keeps growing. The energy keeps growing. Like, I have just launched 3 new businesses in the last few days that I had no idea was going to be happening. But I'm receiving. And I ask you from the depths of my mermaid ocean heart to be willing to receive this love, this light, this presence that wants only the best. Yeah.
We are receiving it. We are truly feeling it. Sincerely, I hope everyone is feeling this. Feeling the power of miracle making. Feeling the connection, the multi-dimensional connection. Feeling the crystalline body that we are becoming. Feeling the charge of the light and our ability to bend it and manipulate, not manipulate, but direct it and create with it. All right, that's beautiful. It would be wonderful for just a few minutes of sound from you, because your sound is exquisite. So what can we do as we listen? Do we learn to make the same sounds ourselves? Do we receive sounds and put our intention? Will it help fuel our intentions? What's the best way to go about this?
I'd say all of that, Lyran. If people want to sound along with me, yes. Or they play this replay and want to sound along, then yes. We all have our unique vocal signature, so no one will sound exactly like mine. I won't sound like theirs. So to love their vocals, to not judge what comes out, to think of it as well as a lullaby. So as though I am sounding to you as a little baby, as I was your mother, and I was unconditionally loving you through the Lyran High Council of Angels and the Bliss family. And that this lullaby is an eternal lullaby, and that it will continue to nourish you through the days and weeks and months to come. It is not a one-time only experience. That's the other thing about quantum and being multidimensional, is singing lullabies into the water water whispering. It doesn't end. When a whale sings in the ocean, some say it's endless. It doesn't ever stop. And there is no two sounds alike. So that is definitely one. The other thing I love people to do, especially if they have had chronic challenges and they're in fear, is to close their eyes, be super comfortable, because the more they're in that rested space of contentment, which is their parasympathetic state, just even for a few minutes, and that they can just settle in that place, they're landing in their body, because we separate, we dissociate from trauma. So we want to come back in home, try to come home. Just imagine that you're falling back and melting back like a soft, like a feather's falling back into your physical instrument right here, and be in that receptive mode. I just want to add that I'd like them to imagine, because this is what the Lyrans do for those in their love pod, is they will hold you at your heart. So if you physically want to take your hand and hold at your heart and just go, it's going to be okay, sweetheart. It is going to all work out. You are safe. Start to whisper to your own inner water and your everything that makes water within you it's the endocrine system, even. It's going to be okay. So you're actually, the heart and thymus gland is the seat of the soul, some say. Sounding from the thyroid, parathyroid is where we birth new cells. So as I'm sounding, I'm birthing new cells for my own body. So remember this as you're sounding with me, that you're birthing new cells. What fuels those cells, what makes them strong, is the hormone from the adrenal glands that gives voltage to the birth to those new cells. So think of your adrenal glands when they're in peace and pleasure. They're like mothers, mothering you with mother's milk. They're mothering the birth of your new cells in a way that they're in a little crib, or not crib, let's just say they're laying out on grass in nature under a tree in the sunlight. And in your mother music, and you're singing the lullabies to your new cells. What happens with new cells? We get more energy, we heal, we let go of old programs, we have miracles. So you see, it's like, oh, you are the walking miracle. You are the living instrument of endless possibility. If you're going to hum with me, hum to know that your dentate gyrus in your brain is giving birth to new cells. And so new neural pathways are changing, new cells are being birthed. So the Lyrans hold here, and they hold generally here. I've witnessed them do this in certain situations, including with those in the armed forces that are in trauma, that are maybe tempted to be violent. I've seen the Lyrans hold them in this way to go into a melted state of surrender and love. And in just a short few minutes, I promise this can be very fast for people, but it's not the same for everybody. I don't make any promises or guarantees. I'm just another human like everybody else. I just happen to be spending 30 years in research and development trying to understand how to whisper to water and all, help to benefit the human condition. So here we go. Just want to say a prayer from Kahuna Abraham. And how my Hawaiian language comes out, it may not be as a true, authentic Hawaiian may say it, but it's from the intention. And the intention is about uniting your heavenly body, your multidimensional quantum human body, in the center of your heart, your threefold flame, meaning the fire of you, the passion of you, the love of you, blended happily with the water of you. Your earthly body in the center of your heart within your threefold flame. So your fields all going to join in this prayer. Amama uenoa, lele walea kuila, huikie maikia. I pray this for you in this moment, that you have miracles, that you trust that you can dance in your quantum field and produce miracles. Amama uenu, lele walea kuila, huikie maikia. I pray that you experience freedom, and that freedom is the use of your imagination, the use of your instrument in a way that's Great Spirit, Almighty Creator intended for you. Amama uenua, lele walea kuila, huikie maikia. Hey, Kuran zapato tinyati okoe. O azamati akumoheia. Hey okotsu etioko. Kiriando samakoya. Hey. Osamakua. Ayayayatoe. Hey oko ye yo. Hinyara tsunyara makuye tiotoana. Eko etia tia to etinyara tio we. Oko enyara manyeti tiara koe. Wow, tsi oko etinyara ma we o. Hey, it's you. Zo. You. Za. 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 Zo. What's up? Way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Sat. Manye. Kueto. Hayatoto. Heyatoma awe kyoto nya wet. Hey yo. Hayatan, hayatan, you. Oots, oots, ooh. Hey. Zia, zo, woo, zo, ze, woo, za, ze, zo, de, ge, boo, zi, kia. Ah. You. You.
extraordinary, exquisite. Wow. Bliss. And I know it was something because I got really warm, really warm. Thank you for enhancing our multidimensional awareness on this. I trust everyone is feeling empowered, sovereign, and joy as the miracle makers that we are. I think we're ready to whisper our music for New Earth. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Feeling that energy. What an activation.
Love to everyone, Lauren, and for you all to understand that that was a wave of different frequencies to exercise the brain and body, exorcise inaudibles and audibles within you to clear the pathway for your instrument to sing more brightly. And I just want to say that the deeper, more kahuna-like sound was scientifically known as biological decoding from an energy viewpoint, and can make some people uncomfortable when I get really loud and passionate. However, there's a reason behind it, and they know the reason. So I open my instrument and let their reason come through as dematerializing anything that has gotten in the way of you being stuck in the cycle, the habit, the insanity of suffering. They command you to release that. And that is where it gets a bit loud and a bit intense. They command it because we need to dematerialize any incoherence, assist you to vibe high. The dolphins come in a little bit. The 432 hertz frequency from my vocals is something else for anyone and everyone to consider. Start to study and research and understand what is 432. So my voice has been measured to be in that hertz frequency versus, say, the standard musical tuning right now of 440. This is a little tidbit to add. Anyone can get their vocals into more 432 with practice. And the whale mothers came through, which they were thanking you. They were so grateful. And wow.
That's where I felt the energy, heat, no sweating, which I was surprised, but just heat. Amazing. And clearing for me, I know what was happening there. And it's different for everyone. So what a gift. What an incredible gift today. Thank you.
Can I
Yeah.
add, please? I recently just served someone, a beautiful goddess who was releasing root trauma. So I really want, when people meditate with the whale energy and the black light, men and women, to start to let them help you with clearing root trauma. That means sexual trauma. It means any distortion around sexuality and the power of our sexual primordial energy when it's directed through love. And including this person I just helped who was clearing a deep held, dense pain around the loss of a child.
Mhm.
Or, it could be. So this is work on the multidimensional physical body on many levels where it needs to. So it'll serve people where it needs to, but when you get back into the mother whale energy, she really is excited to serve guys in the root, get through that black light into that power of light. Thank you.
Powerful. Thank you. Thank you, Mahalia, and the whales and the dolphins and the Lyrans that came through, and the beautiful sounds from the Hawaiian culture, the kahunas. So thank you again. We are floating in bliss, and we will be integrating this over the next few hours, I'm sure. So hold this, everyone, and thank you for doing this work, receiving this gift today. Thank you. So I want to take a moment now as well and let everyone know how they can work with you. You've got something really special here. And I know there's many that say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to whisper new earth into reality. So you've got a special offer right here on this webpage will be the special offer, or the link wherever you're watching or listening to this program. It's in the description box. 1 year in the Lyran Lotus Spa Sanctuary. Wow, tell us about this, please.
This is truly going quantum, multidimensional. This is saying, yes, I recognize I have an energy body. I recognize I've dealt with a lot of difficulty the last 20, 30, 50, 60, 70, 80 years. I recognize I need a little vacation for my subtle energy scalar body to get charged up. And if you say yes, you realize you have had maybe a list of things that just have not shifted no matter what you've tried everything. And you're thinking that's it. I'm ready to go quantum with Mahalia, the Bliss family, and the Lyran Head Council of Angels. It is the Lyran Lotus is your sanctuary place. It's you get your own Lyran Lotus pod. You are held by the Lyrans. The Lyrans are countless. There's countless space. There's energy for everybody, endless amounts, free energy for everybody, like literally to power up the human race, to power up life again, to recharge. It starts with us as individuals and then it ripples out. So we've made this space for you to experience and receive scalar energy in such a way and super affordable. It's the best way we knew how, that will then also give you your connection to the ultimate, like the original light star nation of the 88 star nations. Then also through they're at the gateway, the portal to the King Ray, the great central sun, the Father light. Yes, it's so glorious. And so where would your life be from this day forward, a year from now, if you had more energy? How much more productive would you be? Would you launch new businesses? Would you make new art? Would you heal relationships? Would you get fit again? Would you run that 10-kilometer, 10-mile race you've always wanted to do? Would you, you name it, start living your dreams and feeling the freedom? So it's, you would Zoom monthly with me and this family, the first every month, 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Pacific time on the first of every month for the whole year. And it's all fresh, new stuff that they're giving me that I get to give to you. And I've been behind the scenes working a long time. As you know, Lyran, it's like time to come out now. And so I got lots to share with people who want to bond with me, who want to bond with the Brain Bliss technology and bond with their galactic heritage. Being quantum is your birthright. And it's so fun. There's so fun level of stuff. There's so many bonuses, but the other thing is you get is 33 already about an hour-ish long videos from Ocean Gold. Infinity Pod is something I produced a while back. So they get all 33 of those videos in this package. They get 24 pre-recorded global bliss energy medicine transmissions. They're already sitting there from 2021 and 2022. We've restarted the global bliss energy medicine transmissions, which I'm so excited about that, just now, February 1st of 2024. So those in the Lyran Lotus pod get all the replays for 2024. And then we plan to continue that for many years to come. So any replay for that only goes in the Lyran Lotus. So you're getting all kinds of goodness. Plus, you get the recording of our half-hour calls every month. And you will continue to get these transmissions from me as they come through to amplify your freedom. I would love people to contemplate, what does freedom really mean?
Mhm.
It's on every level, what you're doing with your work. Are you loving your 9 to 5, Monday to Friday? Are you ready to branch out? Are you like, how do you want to spend more time with your children? Do you want to, like I said earlier, my number one thing is brain health. That's my focus. And then full body resurrection through brain, heart, and root coherence. So, like, what do you want, babies? What would bring joy and sparkle to you and your world? Because the more, see, for me as a conduit, the more I sparkle, the more you sparkle, the more the world sparkles, and I fulfill my dream of helping to protect whales and dolphins and oceans forever and ever for future generations. So I'm invested in you sparkling. And so if you know what your why is as well, my why is not just protecting the ocean, it's a bigger why. It's clean drinking water for all of the world. It's no more poverty, it's no more starvation, it's no more war. Like, you name it, it's big, my why. But what is your why? It doesn't have to be as extravagant or as big as mine, but it could be just that you want to be an amazing grandparent. You want to have quality time with your grandchildren, and you deserve that. And if you had more energy from being in the Lyran Lotus, that may boost you. Again, I don't make any promises or guarantees. We are getting in some incredible testimonies already, and we only just did a soft launch in December. And so it's only just been a month and a half, but so far we have some happy customers. So hopefully that helps people understand a bit more about the Lyran Lotus. But just final note, the minute you say yes, you will potentially start to notice more whale and dolphin stuff around you, which happens. You will maybe get a burst of energy. Mostly though, what I want, and whether, no matter if you're a religious person or even prophecy, or how, like, what does God mean to you, because it's different for everybody. I do not want to step on any toes here and guide anyone away from their religious beliefs or how they pray to their God. This is in addition. This is simply a bonus to your prayers and your way you do your spiritual life. It's just a bonus. So getting back to what it's like up there, it is just basically like a sanctuary. It is a spa. If you were to go for a massage somewhere or have a manicure, pedicure, you like those eco-friendly, you're going for a little like rose petal bath, you're going for a reflexology, you're going for one of your favorite spa treatments, just think of it like that. Only it's your energy body again, and you are being held, you're being hugged. You have actually a family of angels tending to you. They're infusing with their ultrasonic instruments, which to me are like these wands. They're these crystalline, their fingers, the Lyrans, they're very interesting looking and really flexible. They're walking music, or they're moving music, actually, more like it. They're floating music through their plasma area. And these ultrasonic instruments just have a way of gently touching you only to the diamond of your heart, diamond of your pineal. Sometimes they, like I said, they hold here, but their main focus is the battery of your heart. where there's been a lot of heaviness, grief, suffering, sadness, despair has sat there a long time, and it's like weighing down the energy body like a wet blanket. So they come in and they're just gently drying up that wet blanket, and they're just saying, okay, you're okay now. We're hugging you. We're giving you nourishment. So that is the best way I can describe it, Lyran. And it's such a joy for me to take people to their Lyran Lotus Love Pod. It's extraordinary for me, and to see and witness their miracles and their results when their energy body helps charge up their physical body. Scalar energy is available to anyone at all times. It does not have to be through the Lyran Lotus. It's mostly for those who really want to connect more with the galactic realm in a way that is tangible, that I can speak to just because I've been in it for a while. That's another part of it. Dr. Jerry Tennant has scalar. Focus Life Force Energy has scalar for people.
Tom Palladino.
Tom Palladino has scalar, yes, and there's probably many more out there that I don't know who they are, but yeah. So it's not new. It's not new. It's just that the Lyrans have guided me. This is how we're gonna do it now, because I've been trained by them for years. And I'm now feel like I can share them with you publicly, and I'm honored to do so. I'm deeply grateful, feeling very blessed about that.
We are so grateful for this program and for the training, the year-long Lotus Spa Sanctuary. How beautiful is that? And your voice is scalar. Mm-hmm. What we witnessed today was scalar energy from your voice. I felt that. And so you're helping awaken that within ourselves. That really is what the whispering is. It's whispering scalar energy from our heart thoughts. So this is beautiful. Thank you. I know that many are going to want to join your program. So we're excited for that. And can they start at any time, no matter if it's this month, next month, 3 months from now, they can start anytime, yes?
They can, whenever they're ready. They'll be able to go to your link or the link, and if they start now, they say, yes, I want this, and it's today, they will instantly gain access to those 33 videos, to the 24 Global Bliss Energy Medicine transmissions, which are about 20 minutes long. People play those in their house when they're doing stuff in their home. They feel that scalar frequency, and then they watch miracles happen even without having like this interaction.
Yes.
Right. It's a living energy. So yeah, they can join anytime.
Beautiful, incredible work that you're doing. We thank you for helping us be aware of the miracles that we are creating, showing us how to create miracles in our life from our heart space and from our galactic connection. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining us as well. And again, we encourage you to check out this beautiful offering from Mahalia and the whales and the Lyrans and so much more. Your galactic family is waiting. Thank you, Mahalia. As we say goodbye, I just want to give you a moment for final thoughts.
The energy of gratitude goes a long ways. So returning back to our original points in this conversation, Lyran, is when we are triggered, because we are human, we're learning to relearn, if we're willing to be more quantum, is if someone is testing us or something outside of us is testing us, and we take it personally, we forgot to take that 100% responsibility. Well, they are me because they're in the water with me. What is it in me that I need to shift maybe or change? What judgment is going on in my lower brain system? What projection? What can I also quickly do in that moment? Have gratitude. Just go, oh gosh, thank you. I'm being shown something, I'm being taught something, I'm being invited by the universe to see something I haven't seen before. I'm being asked to be more loving. I'm being asked to be more present. And I thank it. I thank this beloved universe who loves me enough to put those people, places, situations in front of me to deepen my magic, to deepen my miracle making abilities. So, and daily, I am on my knees, face down, in humility to what the divine has brought us, what we are blessed with as a human race, how we can shift things around from where it has been from strife to success. I'm on my face in the ground in gratitude. It's extraordinary. So please walk with that grateful heart. And even when you feel challenged, thank it. Thank the challenge. And then keep watching those miracles happen. Yes.
So beautiful. We are feeling the shift in perception and the shift into the quantum realm of our beingness. We are there. You have activated us. And for that, we are grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mahalia Michael. Namaste.
Namaste.
This has been a presentation of New Earth One Network, your home for New Earth living. Access information, education, and videos on living from the heart in unity consciousness. Visit newearth1.com.